Hi, my name is Seti and welcome back to the channel where we make educational technology easy for you. In today's video, I'll be looking at the NEOSMARTPEN so that you can create instructional videos just like this. Let's dive into it with another flipped classroom tutorial. Now, today's video is a product demo and we'll be making a video just like this one here. Let me just make it a bit bigger. There we go. And as you can see in this video right here, we have now started our lesson and it's using the camera from the mobile phone. Now, having the SmartPen connected to my mobile phone means that I can now start writing and giving my lesson and everything will be digitized. So one example here is my name is City. So as you can see, everything I write gets immediately digitized within the app and it turns it into a little video. Now I can also change the width of my text, so I can make it thinner. There we go, we have a nice thin line, or I can make it very thick and then make sure that everyone really sees this. In addition to that, I can also change the color. So let's say that I want to use a red color. Well, then now I have a red color that allows me to draw a little flower. This is great for maths lessons or any type of lesson that requires you to write or draw. So let's just go ahead and show you some of the other functions that are available within this application. Now, some students really struggle with white backgrounds, and then we can also change this inside the app. So let's go ahead and do that now. Now back in the app, I can tap on my screen and then I can simply change the background color into a grayish background. That means that I can now use white text, and this is a product demo. And as you can see, everything I write is very clearly written onto that digital platform. You can draw all sorts of symbols and you can even explain things as you're doing this. Now, all in all, I love this platform because it is so incredibly easy to set up. All you need is your SmartPen. Now, these SmartPens come in a number of different form factors. I've got the Dymo pen, which is a much thicker pen, and it's thicker because it houses a battery. Now, that means if, let's say, I run out of battery, well, I can simply replace this on the go and I can still record videos. Super easy to do. Now, some of the other pens, like the M1 Plus pen, this one is fully rechargeable, so there's no battery in here, but you can just simply charge it with a micro USB cable. That does mean that you need to make sure that your pen is fully charged before you can record any videos. Now, I use a combination of both, and once your video is finished, you can see here, my video is now about 2.5 minutes long. Let's say that I'm happy with this. Well, what I can do now is I can simply press stop on my screen and then that video will be saved. So let's go ahead and do that now. Now, as soon as I press on stop, that video is saved and I can save the file, upload it anywhere I want. Now, I can hear you think, what are you tapping? What are you talking about when you say tap this and tap that? Well, on these special notebooks, the background has a special code that can be read by this camera inside your pen. This way, the application will always know where on the paper you are, and that way it can digitize your writing. Now, at the top, we have a number of symbols, and these symbols, these control your pen. So for example, here we can see that this one records our pen. And then here we can go back, we can redo, undo, erase the paper, we can change the width of our strokes, and we can change the color of our strokes. Now, this is very useful because it means that I do not have to look at the app or look around to try and change everything. I can do everything with my pen. All you do is you write, tap that, and then you're good to go. Now, in addition to the notebook, they also come with this one, and this is called the plate paper. Now, the plate paper has a very different background. It's a matte black background, and the code on this plate paper allows you to do the exact same thing, but without actual writing. So what you can do with this one is annotate existing PDF files. So let's have a look at that. I'm going to place the plate paper in front of me, and then I'm going to open up the application again. Now, we're going to go back to the home page. And this time, instead of selecting a blank notebook, we're going to be selecting that I'm using my own materials. We're going to click on my own materials, and then we're going to select a PDF file. Now, I'm going to open up a random PDF file. There we go. And we now have to choose whether we want to use the plate or if we want to have a special printed file. I've got the plate paper, so I'm going to be using the plate. So let's go ahead and click on plate. And this now looks exactly the same as before, with the exception that my background is my PDF file. So let's go ahead and start this lesson. Let's start recording. Now we're back in the application, and as you can see here, I am going to have to do a couple of things differently. Now I still have that pen tip. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is pull that pen tip out. So let's go ahead and do that together. I'm going to pull that pin out. There we go. This is the pen tip, and I'm going to replace it with the stylus tip. Now the stylus tip is also included in your class set. The stylus tip is stored here in the back of your plate paper. Now once the stylus is installed, I can now start navigating this PDF file. As you can see, my mouse is already visible in the application. I have those same symbols at the top, so I'm going to select the pen, medium width, and I'm going to choose the yellow color. I'm going to navigate here, and I'm going to tell everyone that this is a very important part of this knife and that everyone needs to pay attention, and that they need to make sure that whenever they use one of these knives that it is clearly locked in place after having used it. Now the front of the knife right here, this is the dangerous part. So I'm going to use a thicker pen, and I'm going to use some red. I'm going to say, everyone, you need to be incredibly careful with this because it is very sharp. This is just one example of how you can use PDFs. Now, in addition to having these options to change the width and the color of your pen, you can also turn off the camera view. As you can see, the microphone is still picking up everything I say, but I've switched off that camera view. That means that I now have more real estate, and I can do a lot more drawing, and I can do a lot more explaining without distracting the students using that camera view. I can also turn that camera back on, and then you can see instantly it becomes part of my instructional video. Once you're happy with everything, simply press stop, and your video file is saved. You can upload it to any of your cloud storage or share it on your LMS. So the NEOSMARTPEN from NeoLabs is super easy to use. You can get your desk set up in less than a minute, and you're ready to start recording your own videos. They have two applications available, the PaperTube app, and then they also have the Neo Notes app. Now the Neo Notes app allows you to just take digital notes using the exact same principles. The PaperTube app, that's where you can create your instructional videos. In addition to this, they have a web platform at the moment, but that is still in beta. I'll leave a link in that description below so you can have a look at it, and that allows you to then write onto the web browser. Now, because I love using the NeoPen so much, I reached out to NeoLabs and saw if they were willing to give us a discount, and they've given us an additional 10% off if you use that link in the description below. Now, I hope you found this helpful. If you did, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.